Yo, what's up, everybody? You already know what it is. We make art, we sell art in your face. In your face art, man. Matter of fact, hold up. We're going to take this off. There we go. All you guys can do is just hear me this time. You don't need to see me. You don't need to see me. But we are going to be doing a little bit of talking today about the cons of trying to sell fan art, and can you sell fan art, and what I have learned over the years selling fan art. Oh boy, this is a very I won't say taboo, but this is just a conversation you don't hear about a lot. I mean, even if you look onto YouTube and stuff like that, there's not a lot of videos, that's pertaining to doing fan art. And because you're seeing it everywhere. You'll see different videos of t-shirts, hoodies, things like that, canvases, plexiglass, wood, tables, all kinds of different things that people have customized, cars, all kind of stuff when it comes to doing fan art. you know what I've learned over the years is that uh depending on where you're doing it, depending on the characters you're drawing, it can be very lucrative, good, and it can be bad. Oh yes, it can be bad because certain companies do not play. I can use myself as an example. We can start with me. Um, so I've been doing fan art my whole life. What is fan art? Well, fan art is just basically you doing some artwork as a fan, you know, because you're a fan of said character, franchise, organization, whatever. But you don't own these characters at all, you know. Now, when it comes to drawing characters, you could either have a license to draw these characters, which, depending on the company, they cost X amount of dollars. And when you have a license, some companies are saying, hey, look, we have to approve what you draw with our character before it's released. And I think even some other companies will say, hey, even though you drew this and you can sell this, but we're going to add this to our catalog where other vendors can sell this as well. Um, so you can have like a license. There's not too many, I don't know if there's many exclusive licenses. There's probably are, but an exclusive license will say like only you can make designs and stuff for these characters. So when you're drawing fan art, that's one thing. It's like, okay, I drew it, it's fun, it's for me, for personal use, not for resale, things like that. But once you start getting into like um selling the artwork, okay, now we get into the nitty gritty. Okay, we're getting into the nitty gritty because now we're looking at, well, what are you selling as fan art? Let's start with the most common thing is, let's go with posters. Posters, which correlates with canvases, wall art, things like that. I've never seen anybody get a lot of red flags raised from this. And here's why. Your posters aren't really going to be affecting the bottom line of a business or franchise when you're selling posters. It's usually not made at a very high scale, and it's not anything worth to go after. So what do I mean by the bottom line? And that's the bottom line. Well, the bottom line is, with any company in the world, is money. At the end of the day, when everything's paid off, when people are looking at their numbers, the bottom line is the money. How much money are we making? And then out of that money that you grossed, how much money is profitable, right? That's what it's all about. So your little posters aren't really doing anything. Your canvases aren't really doing anything. Now, here's the kicker though. Say if you're selling those posters and you're selling those canvases on a website like Etsy, for instance. Now, when you're selling on a website, if you use the name of those characters and that pops up under the radar, well, Etsy or Shopify or Amazon may get contacted by that said franchise owner and say, hey, listen, this person isn't authorized to use Star Wars. They're not authorized to use Mickey Mouse. We don't know who this guy is. Get him off the platform or we're going to sue you, Etsy. So Etsy will immediately throw you off the platform. Example, myself, that happened to me. I drew a character, right? And I made this character up. It was a combination. It was a fusion. It was a fusion between Sasuke from Naruto and a fusion between Killua from Hunter x Hunter, right? And I fused these two characters together. It was dope. You know, they had all these different characteristics, but where I messed up at, and now I know now, because this happened, I've had two mishaps, especially with Naruto. I barely ever draw Naruto. Like they really pissed me off ever since they did what they did to me. But I understand it's business. It is what it is. So I really don't draw Naruto anymore. Sorry to all the Naruto fans out there. But I named the character. I said, hey, this is a fusion between Killua and Sasuke. I put it on Etsy, and I just had a poster. It was a poster. I was like, yo, I'm selling this poster. It's gonna be cool. Da da da. Man, I go back onto my Etsy account, and the Etsy account has been not suspended, not flagged, deleted. No warnings, no nothing. Deleted the entire account. Etsy threw me under the bus and said, to heck with that. You're out of here. I'm like, what? What happened? Because I used the name. So I use the name, whether it was in the hashtags, if you use it in the description, if anything pertaining to those characters, whether it's Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Killua, any of those names to even describe what it is that you're drawing, if it comes across their radar, it'll not only get flagged, but it'll get deleted as well, right? So when it comes to online selling your things like posters and things like that, you have to be careful, because if you use those names to let people know, hey, you know, because some people may go to your website or go to your Etsy and they're looking, oh, do you have any on Naruto? Do you have any One Piece? You know, this, and that. So they're looking, you know. You may get shut down for that. Now, when it comes to selling in person with your posters and things like that, okay, you get a little bit more leeway because the actual companies may not be there. Most of the time, they're not there. So you really don't have nothing to worry about per se. Now, if you do a major event, you know, certain major events may have the people in suits walking around looking to see if anybody is selling fan art. Well, in their case, you know, illegal imagery of their characters or whatnot. So you have to be really, really careful with that. But for the most part, I've heard of things like that happening where somebody had to take all their stuff down, get escorted out of the building, the whole nine, but I don't see it a lot. I've never seen it in person, but I have heard it. I have heard of it. Now, when it comes to clothing, oof. Okay, guys, this is the big fish, okay? This is what pertains to me. Although I do sell canvases, posters, things of that nature, the clothing is where it's at, right? Well, the canvases are where it's at for me now, but usually it would be the clothing, because people like wearing the art. When they wear the art out, it gets people to ask, hey, where you get that at? And in turn brings me more customers. So it's a lot of fun. People love wearing certain merch, you know, rocking and matching with the shoes and stuff. But can you sell fan art as merch? And the answer is ultimately no. Ultimately no. You can, but there's a lot of risk involved, okay? Um, for one, if you do not have a license, and once again, these licenses are not cheap. They cost money. Okay, you could be looking at anywhere between 50,000 a year, 100 and something thousand a year, depending on the character. All right, when that's low end, if we're talking about, like, you know, some big high end characters, you know, your Spider-Mans, your Marvels, all that stuff. Oh, trust and believe, you are going to be shelling out, if they even let you do it. You're going to be shelling out a lot of money. A lot of money. Stuff is not cheap. They literally have licensed expos in Vegas and all that type of stuff. They have licensing expos and everything all over the U.S., which I've always wanted to go to one. I'm going to try to go to one this year, but yeah, it's a really, really, really big deal to be able to get a license. So here's the thing: when it comes to merchandise, merchandise is a big deal because they can make a lot of money from merch. All right. I think the average person will buy a t-shirt faster than they just buy a poster. You go to Walmart and stuff, their t-shirt sales from the graphic tees are going to be way higher than some little poster. So that's why they don't really care about posters too much. But we're talking about t-shirts. If, you've made a lot of money off the t-shirts and things like that and you come under their radar, well, they could be like, well, hey man, we're losing a big portion of money because this person is making and selling t-shirts, merch, you know? So that's really, really frowned upon when it comes to the merch thing, from what I'm understanding and seeing. So you really want to be careful naming anything on your website after the character themselves, because it could be a big red flag and ultimate no, something you just do not want to do. Once again, story time. It happened to me. So I made a big mistake. I mean, a a definite big mistake. So once again, freaking Naruto flagged me, man. Well, they didn't flag me. They had all my stuff shut down. So basically, I posted a picture. I was just getting into doing children's clothing, and I had a t-shirt of a kid model, and I put a t-shirt on the model of the kid with this new Naruto design that I was coming out with. I didn't have any kids to model it, so I made my own mock-up for it. So when I made the mock-up for it, everything was looking good. I literally put this mock-up on YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts was just coming out at the time. I posted this picture, or no, I posted this video. And when I tell you, I went back to my YouTube channel and it was gone. I had over 15,000 subscribers on this channel and it was gone. No flags, no questions asked, gone. Come to find out, this company called Viz Media got my stuff shut down, man. They got me taken down. Not only that, they were attacking all my Instagrams. They were attacking all my Facebooks. They were attacking my Shopify. They were attacking everything that was associated with my business. They were coming for it from that one picture. And where I messed up at is, one, I named the video after Naruto, saying, hey, I got a children's, Naruto shirt on the way, whatever. Couple of things on my website had some names of some different shows and animes and stuff like that. So they were red flagging everything. They were flagging things from 7, 8 years ago. They were flagging things of me. Even if I drew a pair of shoes with Obito on it, or if I drew a pair of shoes with Sasuke on it, they were coming after everything I had ever drawn, man. I was just getting flagged left and right. Long story short, I lost 3 Instagrams, 2 Facebooks. My Shopify dang near was on a freeze. Lost my YouTube channel. It was horrendous. Hence, why I lately have been going really hard with, one, doing shows, haven't been promoting much online. 2, going towards the digital route with my own characters and things like that. Shameless plug to this book that I'm working on for David Shands with the Social Proof podcast, and also coming out with my own children's books. But yeah, that's why, I have to be very careful when it comes to certain characters. Because see, certain shows aren't as tough as others. You got your gangsters like your Disneys, your Viz Medias, all that type of stuff that own certain properties. And then others, like I've never had a problem with Dragon Ball. Never had a problem with Dragon Ball, but I'm pretty sure I would have a problem with Marvel or DC or whatever. So you have to be very, 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 very careful. Okay, I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Listen to me very, very carefully. You have to be careful. So can you do fan art? Yes and no. It depends on the medium that you're doing, and it depends on who's seeing what you're doing. Because, yeah, certain places you could probably get away with it, fly under the radar. Other places, not so much. Because you got some people that got ideas. They want to make scarves, blankets, whatever, with these different characters. But just understand, hey, these are not your characters. And if you get under the radar of somebody like I did, geez Louise, you can ip kiss your website and stuff goodbye, because they're going to flag the website, which in turn will flag you, and they're trying to save their own hide and not have any issues with that said company. Because to them, they're like, well, we can make way more money off of Etsy or whatever than we'll make from you, unless they've got some serious proof that you'd have made millions off of this stuff. I mean, you're not that big of a, because let me tell you something, man. There's some companies who actually encourage people to make fan art and celebrate it and make their own helmets and cosplays and all that type of stuff. In turn, some people will sell, cosplays and, make custom cosplay outfits for other people, which looks like the franchise. So it just depends on the company. But just know the risks that are involved when you're doing this, you know? So for me, when I have my store and things like that, I'm like, hey, look, I'd rather continue doing either shows, sell things at my store from time to time, and focus on these other things until these other things um, will make up a substantial amount more for my income than these t-shirts and hoodies and things like that. Because it's fun. Look, there's so many designs people want me to do. There's so many things that I want to do. But if I'm looking at in the long run, trying to do this, what, 10 years, 12 years, then in the long run, I want to be able to have something that I can go on the news and say, hey, this is my creation. Hey, we're in stores everywhere. Hey, you can pick this up, you can pick that up, and we got this new release coming out. I can't necessarily do that with what I'm doing right now. I could, but if it gets big enough and it gets too much it'll once again catch the eyes and ears of certain individuals who may disagree with my fan art and disagree with me doing this said fan art. So I have to be very, very careful. And when it comes to things like this, it's a ticking time bomb. You just never know how long this type of stuff is going to last. You always want to be able to make a certain amount of money and then let that money work for you, whether it's in stocks, IRAs, bonds, trusts, all that type of stuff. So that's the level that I'm ultimately working towards getting at. But it is a lot of fun. You just have to be careful. So I hope I answered that question. Some people ask me that question sometimes about the custom art and all that stuff, and can you do fan art? But that's pretty much the gist of it. I hope that was helpful for you. And if you have any other questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to hit me up in the comments section. Where I will answer your questions. So other than that, man, you guys have a nice one. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be cool. You already know what it is. We make art. We sell art in your face. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Oh, before we leave, if you want to support this channel, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you check out some of the artwork, man. You can purchase some of my art in the link in the description. And yeah, thank y'all for making it this far. Talk to you later.